It wouldn't surprise me that he would have probably have housed people, paid for maybe a hotel room for them to go to, especially in the winter months. He just has a compassionate heart.
I would describe Dr. Trippi as just a man who is humble but incredibly compassionate.
Jim Trippi, humble, dedicated, thoughtful, just a prince of a guy.
He takes the needs of others to his heart. He can be funny at times, although he doesn't like to admit it, but he can be.
He's the definition of what we call servant leadership, a person that goes above and beyond to help others, that doesn't have to lead. He doesn't want to be recognized. He wants to be in the background making sure things get done.
I think he's very compassionate and mission-driven for Gennesaret.
Well, he is a world-class cardiologist, but also somebody who has the biggest heart.
Dr. Trippi was not only an excellent, compassionate physician, he took care of patients regardless of their financial situation.
He's just an incredibly good guy. So passionate about both his professional work, but this work that he does, I think it's the love of his life, this heart work that he does for Gennesaret Free Clinics.
I think when I first started volunteering, I volunteered on the mobile van. I remember we first pulled up and parked the van in front of the flag park where we were going to be seeing people, and instantly all these people just appeared out of nowhere. He just walked out of the van and was greeting people, making sure that they had, some hot coffee and things that we had brought, and just putting them at ease. And to me, that was just a great introduction to the way that he felt about the patients of Gennesaret.
There's just so few people that are dedicated to that level in our community, and I was drawn to that and wanted to be part of that very, very much.
He was the cardiologist who treated my father when he had a very serious heart attack. I and my whole family credits Dr. Trippi with saving my father's life. So I started to get to know the organization better after that, and saw its effects in the community. It's really remarkable. There just isn't anything like it in Indianapolis.
There are so many people in this community that need help with their health. His reaction has always been one of looking for a situation that needs help and doing something about it.
In the last, maybe 5 years or less, in the medical profession, sort of one of the hot topics has become patient-centered care. But I think Dr. Trippi, in founding Gennesaret, that's what it was all about, patient-centered care. He saw the need, not while he was working at his medical office. He saw it as he was volunteering in a soup kitchen.
I've been told many times over and over how many times him personally has been involved with taking care of patients, going the extra mile, not only on the medical side, but anything that they need.
35 years ago, Dr. Trippi worked up the courage to ask the first guy, how do you get health care? And he admitted, I don't. And Dr. Trippi kind of took it from there.
One of the moments I remember while working in the cardiac catheterization laboratory is that I answered the phone and a person on the other line said, "This is the White House calling and I'm trying to reach Dr. Trippi." My response to that was, "Sure you are," and I hung up the phone. 5 minutes went by and I happened to answer the phone again when it rang. He begged me not to hang up the phone because President Bush had nominated Dr. Trippi and Gennesaret Clinic to be one of his 1,000 points of light.
I think it's pretty amazing to think that Dr. Trippi found something that would occupy half of his life. I think taking his inspiration to say, I identified this need and I've put my heart and my soul into it.
He tells the story of a young gal, and she approached him for health care on the mobile unit, and she had some GI upset. She was embarrassed. Dr. Trippi, in his quiet, unassuming manner, probed and kind of figured out what the problem was. And in our beautiful, vibrant, gorgeous city with so many assets and so many resources, this young gal was living in the woods and drinking out of a putrid pond. Dr. Trippi just talks about that, and you can tell that just literally broke his heart.
I would say from Dr. Trippi, yes, always look at the big picture and the vision, but never forget the patient that we're actually serving.
The people would stop and thank us, sometimes with tears in their eyes, because they had no other place to go.
In the hospital setting, a lot of times we would see people come in, receive medical services, and then it would be like a revolving door because they would go back out, they go into unsafe situations. I think Dr. Trippi saw that and helped us to really close that revolving door by making sure that patients had a safe place to recover.
He's somebody who really is able to relate to everybody in all walks of life.
He can be pushy at times. At times he drove me up the wall. But we were partners in crime, always.
If we all, as even non-physicians, would think about, how we could be more compassionate to each other, look out for each other, I think the world would be a better place.
Thank you, Jim, for everything that you have done for this community.
I don't know if you realize how much people's lives you have changed. You have impacted numerous families in the best possible way.
He taught me to use the gifts that I've been given.
Dr. Trippi, thank you so much for affording me the opportunity to come to Gennesaret Free Clinics.
So let me just say, on behalf of the entire Indianapolis community and on behalf of my family, thank you, Dr. Trippi.
You know what I would thank Dr. Trippi for the most was giving me an opportunity to fulfill my passion around my career in providing health care.
Thank you for all you've done, what you've dedicated your career, not just the compassionate care that you've provided in the hospital, but also that you've gone above and beyond in that call.
Dr. Trippi, I thank you for pouring half of your life into Gennesaret.
I personally want to thank you for encouraging me to move to Nevada, get married, further my education to become a cardiology nurse practitioner.
What will you accomplish in half of your lifetime?
What will you accomplish in half of your lifetime?
What will you accomplish in half of your lifetime?
What will you accomplish in half of your lifetime?
So what will you accomplish in half of your lifetime?
What will you accomplish in half of your life?
What would we do with half of our lifetime?
What will you seek to accomplish in half of your lifetime?